What if one of Coronation Street's most recognizable faces has just experienced the greatest plot twist of his entire life? Not on the cobbles. Not in a script. But in reality. After decades in the spotlight. After personal struggles, public scrutiny, heartbreak, and battles that threatened to derail everything, Michael Vell has finally said two words that change everything. I do. And behind the smiles, behind the wedding photos, lies a story far more emotional than many fans may realize. Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. And today we're looking at the remarkable real-life journey of the man millions know as Kevin Webster. A journey that has taken him from some of the darkest moments of his life to one of the happiest days imaginable. Because this wasn't just a wedding. For many fans it felt like a victory. A triumph. A second chance earned through years of struggle. The celebrations took place in Manchester under glorious sunshine. Family, friends, loved ones, and several familiar Coronation Street faces gathered to witness the special moment. Michael Vell and his partner Louise Gibbons finally became husband and wife after spending 12 years together. 12 years. Think about that for a moment. 12 years of building a relationship. 12 years of facing challenges together. 12 years of proving that some relationships are strong enough to survive almost anything. The bride looked stunning. The groom couldn't stop smiling. Every photograph seemed to capture genuine happiness. But that's what makes this story so powerful. Because happiness wasn't always guaranteed. Not even close. For longtime fans, Michael's journey has been anything but straightforward. There were moments when his future looked uncertain. Moments when personal struggles threatened to overwhelm him. Moments when everything he had built appeared to be hanging by a thread. And that's where this story becomes much more than a celebrity wedding. It becomes a story about resilience. About redemption. About finding someone who stays beside you when life becomes incredibly difficult. Louise wasn't simply a girlfriend. According to those close to the couple, she became Michael's rock. His source of support. His safe place during some of the most turbulent periods of his life. And that support would be tested repeatedly. Because the early years of their relationship were far from perfect. In fact, there was a period when everything appeared to be falling apart. The couple briefly separated. Questions surrounded the future of their romance. Many relationships would never recover from such uncertainty. But then everything changes. Instead of walking away permanently, they found their way back to each other. And what happened next revealed something important. Their relationship wasn't built on convenience. It was built on commitment. Because sometimes the strongest bonds aren't the ones that never break. They're the ones that survive being broken. As Michael worked to rebuild parts of his life, Louise remained a crucial source of encouragement. That loyalty would become one of the defining themes of their relationship. And that's when things take a deeper emotional turn. Behind the scenes, Michael was confronting personal battles that many people never fully understood. Battles with addiction. Battles with self-doubt. Battles that can quietly consume lives if left unchecked. Recovery is never simple. Recovery is never neat. Recovery requires difficult decisions, painful honesty, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. For many people, those challenges can destroy relationships. Yet somehow this couple continued moving forward. Step by step. Year by year. The proposal eventually arrived. A symbol of hope. A promise of a future together. A sign that brighter days might finally be ahead. But even then, life wasn't finished testing them. Further difficulties emerged. More headlines appeared. More pressure arrived. And once again their relationship found itself under intense strain. What happens next is remarkable. They endured. Not perfectly. Not effortlessly. But together. And perhaps that's why this wedding feels so significant. Because it isn't simply about romance. It's about survival. It's about reaching a destination after a journey filled with obstacles. It's about proving that difficult chapters do not always define the ending. Psychologically, that's what makes this story resonate with so many people. Everyone knows what it feels like to make mistakes. Everyone knows what it feels like to face setbacks. Everyone knows what it feels like to wonder whether things can ever truly improve. Michael's story taps into something universal. The desire for a fresh start. The hope that tomorrow can be better than yesterday. The belief that redemption is possible. And maybe that's why fans have reacted so emotionally. Because they aren't simply celebrating a wedding. They're celebrating perseverance. They're celebrating growth. They're celebrating the possibility that people can rebuild their lives even after enormous challenges. But could this new chapter be the happiest one yet? Many certainly hope so. The smiles from Manchester suggested a man embracing a future that once may have seemed uncertain. A man surrounded by people who care about him. A man beginning a completely new chapter. And perhaps that's the biggest twist of all. Not scandal. Not controversy. Not heartbreak. Hope. Real hope. The kind that takes years to earn. The kind that survives storms. The kind that finally arrives when you least expect it. As Michael Vell and Louise Gibbons begin married life together, fans across the country will undoubtedly be wishing them happiness. Because after everything they've faced, this moment feels genuinely deserved. But what do you think? Is this one of the most heartwarming real-life stories involving a Coronation Street star in recent years? Do you think overcoming adversity makes milestones like this even more meaningful? And what message do you think Michael's journey sends to others facing difficult periods in their own lives? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this emotional Coronation Street update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Corrie news, spoilers, and behind-the-scenes stories. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next update.